What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite too. It's the boys. Skull Sessions, episode 21. We are finally getting into those 20s. Living life and being a little busy. We took a little break, but we're back into it. So we'll just get kind of straight into it. It's a little bit later into the week, but the Minnesota Vikings have a little bit of a bye week, so to speak. And we needed it, Zach. I don't know if you know the saying. You know the saying. I mean, the Vikings lost 37-10 to the Chargers. It was belt to ass. I seen Shannon Sharp talking about it, and that's just what it was. What were your thoughts, kind of, on the game? We'll just do a little overview of it.
Yeah, this was probably the worst Vikings game I've ever watched. I mean, at least the past, I don't know, six. I would go back to that. I told you this. I would go
Yeah,
back to that NFC Championship game. It was just like that for me. It was just a terrible
yeah,
game. We couldn't get nothing going, and we were going into that game with obviously people injured on the O line, right? Obviously a broken offensive line, but so did they. I was expecting to, get things going. And it had to be the worst first quarter I've ever watched. Absolutely
mm,
terrible on the Viking side of the ball. Couldn't get
right.
nothing going. Our defense couldn't stop anything. Um, but yeah, man, I'm that
Lots of words.
terrible. Absolutely terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know me, man. After since I got this big boy job, I go to bed at 10 o'clock. So Thursday night football, I decided to stay up late. My boys are playing. I turned the game off at 10:30. Like it got to a point where I was just like, it's not worth playing. The Vikings obviously do that thing where they try to come back towards towards the fourth quarter. So I'm gonna tell you exactly where I turned the game off. It was when the Chargers, they were going down the field. They scored, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna give the Vikings one more possession." So Justin Jefferson's wide open on a route. Carson Wentz just throws it up, and then it was completely overthrown interception. And I was like, "I'm going to bed. I'm turning this shit off." Funny thing is, we do Jersey Fridays, so my goofy ass had a Justin Jefferson Vikings jersey on the next day after we just got we just got
Oh,
destroyed. So that was fun talking to all my coworkers and stuff about why I'm Minnesota Vikings fan after they lost by 27 points. Player of the game, I mean, our kicker performed really well. He's been performing really well this whole season. Um,
on
just
defense, Jonathan Grenard.
okay, I'll give you that. I know he did
Yeah,
get injured towards
he did.
the
And
end.
that I don't know. I was trying to figure out what it was. I'm not really sure. I thought it was his ankle, but
Yeah,
this could be an issue.
um, yeah. Our kicker, Jonathan Gennard, Jordan Addison looks good running routes. Justin Jefferson looks good running routes. Am I missing something?
I can hear the clock on the wall to my left.
I don't know if I'm missing anything.
It's just like a moment of silence. Like, what good did we do? I don't know. The
Yeah,
play calling was terrible.
yeah,
What is with Kevin O'Connell on these short plays? Fourth and one, we don't go for it.
right,
What? Fourth and two, we don't go for it.
right,
What is going on? We got to get some.
right.
And then
Well, you
third and one, you do a play action pass. Run the
right.
ball.
You just paid a bunch of money for a running back. That is kind of a thumper, so to speak, running back. Fourth and one, you have to have it. The cute play actions or throws. Whole nother discussion, man. The play calling has been an issue. I know it's been a conversation between the Viking, podcast people for quite a few years. Obviously, the culture, as a head coach, your players have to believe in you. They have to play hard for you. But when it comes to play calling, in my opinion, there's certainly some questionable things. Now, is that due to your offensive line is just probably one of the worst in the NFL? So you don't feel confident enough to run it straight down somebody's throat. So you feel you need to be cute, but when you have, Xavier Scott as well as, Aaron Jones and Mason back in there, I mean, you got to run that ball. You have to. You have no choice, especially with your quarterback Carson Wentz. So we can get a little bit into that. I mean, obviously, how did you feel about the Carson Wentz game, and then obviously the experience with him, no longer being a starting quarterback?
Found out that Carson Wentz was going to start.
Yeah,
I was somewhat excited because obviously we wanted to see JJ, but JJ wasn't looking good. Obviously, he got injured. And obviously, Kevin O'Connell has a good history with making these quarterbacks who maybe got caught up in the league and they're
Right.
backups and then they do well, right? Obviously, Sam Darnold, 14 games, um, right? And then
Yeah.
so I'm thinking, whoa, Carson Wentz, he balled in 2017, whatever year that was, where he
Yeah.
threw for
Yeah.
33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, something crazy. And
Right.
so I'm like, man, if anybody can get the most out of Carson, it's Kevin O'Connell. Well, fast forward to, you know, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is Joe Montana one play, and he's Trent Dilfer the next play. He's a backup quarterback on third down. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. It's the worst quarterback we've had. I love his toughness. I think he's tough and
Right.
he makes some plays, but you never know what you're going to get. And with a quarterback like that in the NFL, you'll never win a playoff game. You'll never make a deep playoff run. So,
Yeah.
you know, I I'm grateful for Carson Wentz. I think he gave all he had to Minnesota, being from Minnesota, you
Right.
know, it being his home team, and I'm grateful for Carson. He was tough, and I appreciate him even going out there and playing for sure. Like all hats off to him for sure. But the
Yeah.
Carson Wentz experience has been rocky, and it's not just on Carson for sure. The offensive line is atrocious.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about the Carson Wentz experience?
Man, just to kind of, piggyback off you in the game specifically, 15 to 27, a buck 44, one TD, one pick. The stats are one thing, obviously when you watch the game, there's just a few, of those throws where it's like he's wide open or it's there. But to Carson Wentz's defense, when you're getting your head, pounded into the ground, or even if you initially you have quarterback hurries, like they're getting to the quarterback, they had quite a few sacks. Eventually you start seeing ghosts in the pocket, so to speak, where you're just trying to get the ball out or you're not really going through your progressions. Unfortunately, I think it just got to a point where he was just rushed so many times. He wasn't going through his progression, setting his feet, making those throws. Carson Wentz, we've had this conversation. He was drafted number 2 overall for a reason coming out of North Dakota State. He's big, Josh Allen-esque, in regards to the body. He has a great arm, and a lot of potential was there when he got drafted. And you see that, and then you wonder why so many teams have one and done him. You know what I mean? They took him to that first date, took it to the first date, and then they never called him back. And there was what 6 teams or 5 teams, so to speak, every year where it's like, why are they not giving this dude a chance? She looks good, she's in good shape. Why is she still single? Why is she with a new dude every year? And I'm done with it. I'm personally
Yeah,
done with it.
yeah,
She can go back, you know what I mean? She can go back to the streets because it's like, goodness gracious, dude. Like some of these passes, you have all the arm talent in the world and you're overthrowing people.
taking
You're
sacks in
missing
the red zone.
reads. There's Vikings Twitter. They showed Jordan Addison wide open on like a slant or coming in, and like just Carson Wentz just didn't throw it to him. So it comes to a point where, especially with the Minnesota Vikings, with their offensive line that's horrible, you have to have a quarterback that has to step up to kind of, outplay those issues on the team. And that's just purely not him. And to his defense, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can perform with a horrific offensive line. Your left tackle, all pro left tackle, he played 9 snaps and he was done. And then I know Kevin O'Connell, like passive aggressively, was saying something in his press conference, like, yeah, he just wasn't up to it. He didn't feel good after these plays. And it's just like either the dude's ready to play or he's not. You need to sit him, but this cute half pregnant, half not pregnant, play a few drives. We're in the playoff. We're fighting for the playoffs right now. We need people
Yep.
that are going to play. If he can't play, sit him until he's healthy and go trade for a left tackle. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but it's
I mean,
awful because then when he goes out there and he's shutting down defensive ends. Every time he's been on the field, he's produced. But like we need you, bro. And then the right tackle, Brian O'Neill's been hurt. So you just got damn practice squad guards. You're moving guards into centers. Like your first round draft pick was hurt. He's came back in. He's a rookie. I give him that, but he hasn't looked like a dominant guard, right? He's still trying to learn and figure it out. Like the offensive line is just horrific. So I give Carson Wentz like you need to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers where you're just like getting that ball out once you step out. The overall experience, we're the Vikings, right? Like this is what we do. We get high hopes with no matter what quarterback it is. Then quarterback gets hurt, something happens, and we're scrambling for a quarterback. We've had the good stories where it's Sam Darnold who's 14-2, but we've also had the Josh Dobbs stories, so to speak. So this is just one of those Vikings. It's just it is what it is. You're out of luck kind of situations. So I mean, that's how I kind of look at the Carson Wentz experience, bro.
I'm glad it's over. Um, with that being said, I feel like this year, man, is such
Yeah,
a it's there's so much expectation with us spending all this money on offensive line, defensive line. We spent 160 something $1 million to get all these guys in. And
yeah,
if you look at, we have more talent on the O line, D line technically this year than we
yeah,
did in years past, right? Of
yeah,
course, we got the
yeah.
injuries, but and it's our defense. Like, and I don't know if it's a combination of we're going three and out, three and out, three and out.
Right.
We're not being our offense just can't stay on the field, and maybe that's the reason why our defense isn't performing. We're not getting takeaways, and it's just our team is in a downward spiral right now, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. It reminds me of the 2023 year
Mm,
where we're in this quarterback carousel, right? We
yeah.
don't know what's going on. Um, and it's 2023 all over again. And it's like this is where we're at.
Mm,
So the good thing is we do have JJ McCarthy, who's probably gonna get the start this week. So there's obviously a lot of high expectations for JJ McCarthy. He is thrown into the gauntlet. So
yeah.
I'm hoping he does well. Obviously, I
Yeah.
hope he does well. It's going to be tough though. One thing JJ is going to have to do is get rid of that ball. He cannot hold on to the ball, and that's going to be up to O'Connell to run the ball, play
Right.
action, get rid of the ball. If he holds on to the ball too long,
Right.
it's going to be a long night in
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
But what do you think about just the climate of our team going past the Carson Wentz experience, where we're at right now? Where are we at?
Yeah. I mean, I think kind of where we are. Kwesi hasn't had the best draft classes, so now you're overpaying for B-ish tier free agents, right? Because you still have to fill some of these holes, so to speak, whether they're long-term solutions, or whether they're short-term gaps, like Ryan Kelly and the offensive guard, or Hargraves and kind of people that are a little bit older in the two. Jeff Okuda,
Face plant. There's a face plant.
I mean, Lad McConkey gave you that 1-2 step. Y'all was out there.
He like this. He
Y'all
like
was out. Yeah, y'all was out there doing the Macarena. And but Lad's gonna do that to a lot of boys. I don't know if you remember, but I loved him in the draft. Just his route running is something else. But I mean, you overpaid for your free agency. Your cornerback Isaiah Rogers he's been good on our team. Obviously you have where he's like the number one PFF scoring cornerback, and then then games do look a little bit tricky. But I say all that to say you keep putting that defense out there, three and out on offense. You keep putting them out there. This is an offensive league. They're going to get tired, or hell, they're human. They're going to get frustrated. Why are we doing all this? We're getting paid, but why do we keep going out here doing all this? When I take a damn Gatorade break, we're getting back on the field because your offense is just three and out every
oh
time.
yeah.
So
I mean, you look at the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs could not stop the Eagles, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
their defense was ranked high that last year,
right,
but because their offense couldn't do anything, the
right,
Eagles had their way, and that's basically what we've been doing the whole year. And we've been playing from behind every game.
yeah.
So what do you want the defense to do? Now the team can just
Hey,
run the ball, take their time because we're behind every game. So
oh, you can run the ball. You can run the ball. Hey, FedEx, UPS, the lanes is wide open. You can run the ball all you want this season.
it don't
So,
matter who's in back, who's in
no,
there. They bring in practice squad backs. Vidal, third string
hey,
running
hey,
back, running all over us. Has a career
hey,
day.
hey,
We just got him paid. We just got him paid.
hey,
We love to get people
when a
paid,
player's
don't
like a
we?
third string running back, and they talking about him the whole game. But yeah, man, you kind of overpay for some free agents. Your draft classes have been weak. Jordan Addison was a great pick. You have what other picks? What other picks? Give it to me. Your free agency, your undrafted free agency class has been good, but your drafts, you've been missing a lot in those drafts where those young players are supposed to be building into year two, and you have them under contract.
I mean,
So
you had Spillman draft Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw. Take those
Yeah.
two out.
Yeah, I mean
Uh-oh.
Jordan Addison, and I'm not trying to be I'm stupid, right? We're just here, but Jordan Addison, your corner from USC, he's not no longer on the team. He was supposed to be a starter.
Lewis
Um,
Seen, is he in the league anymore?
Lewis Singh, bro,
Come on,
Zach,
man.
can you tell him how I was literally like screaming on the phone with you, and I
Kyle
was like, we're gonna
Hamilton.
get Kyle Hamilton
Yeah.
or Jamison Williams. Like
And we go to
we never get in these positions. Then the Minnesota Vikings have traded back in the first round of the draft.
yeah.
um,
So yeah, I think see, there's so much right now at stake for Minnesota, right? And I told you this because
you know
man,
what? Forget all that. Forget
JJ
all that. Who's
McCarthy,
going?
I'm
If the team doesn't make the playoffs
yeah,
and they're firing somebody, who are they firing first? Are we firing
quick,
Quasi, who has
quick.
had? Okay,
I
okay,
think you fire Quasi first, but I think right now there's so much pressure on JJ McCarthy, which is tough for him because he
yeah,
is really young. He's super
right,
young, hasn't had
right,
hardly no experience playing. He's thrown into a gauntlet where the team is fighting for our lives.
right.
Man, it's
Yeah,
an uphill battle, and you're going through like a these teams we're playing is it's just getting our schedule's getting tough.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
tough.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how O'Connell, with all the chaos he's had to face with quarterbacks over the past few couple years, how he is. I'll applaud him if he just is patient with JJ and just rides the season out and just lets him, you know. Not that I'm saying I want that, but I'll applaud Kevin O'Connell if he does that because
What's the
I don't know
alternative? What's the
what's
alternative?
what's the alternative. You're gonna go find a veteran. We talk about probably Russell Wilson. You find a veteran. Like I don't know, but I,
Hey,
I mean, it just
just like
depends where we're at. Like if we lose this weekend to Detroit, now we're
yeah,
3-5. We're starting to look outside the playoff run. Depends on how JJ looks.
yeah.
They're
You
gonna just
know,
keep JJ in there. They're gonna keep JJ in
you
there.
know what's happening after that, right? There's already talks on it. Denver Broncos have been looking at Hawkinson
Yeah, I
potential
mean we're gonna
draft.
start unloading people, and it's terrible, but it's what happens when you because we have these players to win this season, and it's like well it's kind of blown up. So it's like well if you can get this or that for them.
Get anything for him, right?
And you got
Hargraves,
to, and I hate it because I'm like,
yeah,
are we about to come into a time? You remember those years? There was a lot of years when we were just
yeah.
mediocre. And are we going to go into that?
I
Are
mean,
we going to,
that's been every year.
and that's debatable, but I mean, as far as like, are we going to be bottom of the pack? Like, usually we're kind of, mid to,
Yeah, yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting
Like
talked
up,
about. Are
right,
we
right,
going to
right,
be one
right.
of those teams just not really talked about? And is that going to be the case going forward, even though we have Kevin O'Connell? And I don't know. There's so many like what
Yeah,
if factors, and there's a lot at stake right now. And it's a really exciting time, honestly. It's a really exciting time to see if JJ's got what it takes, if Kevin
yeah.
O'Connell can call the plays, if can Flores pull the defense together.
Hey, I, it's kind of weird, but I love when Flores don't do too hot because I'm like, maybe we can keep him for another year.
I know,
For another year.
I know. Because
Honestly,
I do think when Flores is operating well, when our offense, I mean, think about it.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
What
yeah,
when Flores is operating well, our offense is doing good, right?
absolutely.
Come on, man. Like Flores can dial up plays, dial up blitzes, and we're just moving.
Yeah,
Quarterbacks having to throw the ball. I mean, come
right,
on, man. Well, there's too much going on right now for Flores to call it just a solid game. And I
right.
think even though the stats don't show, I still think our defense for the most part, for most of these games, have kept us in the game.
Oh yeah, I
You
agree.
know what I mean? We wouldn't even
Yeah,
have. So if the offense just did a little bit,
yeah,
and we would be in these games. But
yeah.
so it's going forward to Detroit. We're in Detroit. We haven't beat Detroit. I think they won like 6 in a row.
Hmm. I didn't know
So
that.
it's going to be apparently though. JJ McCarthy hasn't lost in Michigan. So
Hey, I mean, at this point, like you know, kind of piggyback off you, like there's nothing else we can do but see what the kid has, right? I think another reason why Kevin O'Connell didn't rush JJ McCarthy back out there, especially with that injury. Your offensive line is horrific. This young man has to be able to move around and protect himself.
right.
And Carson Wentz, you know, he can get out that pocket a little bit, and he's just getting destroyed. Obviously, he's out, you know, for maybe the remaining of the season, let alone a couple weeks because of that
Yep.
offensive line.
You know,
So,
you about to see a lawsuit in about a year from now. Carson Wentz.
hey, yeah, I'm not even going.
Yeah,
I'm not even.
they try Carson Wentz. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna be on their throats.
yeah, they left him out there to just get destroyed. So, um, I mean, kind of like you said, we got to see what the young guy has. Kevin O'Connell's going to have to adjust his play calling a little bit to fit. Obviously he has a scheme that fits JJ McCarthy, getting the ball out, those slants. JJ McCarthy has a strong arm, but he's gonna have to switch it up due to that offensive line and just due to how your team's performing now. So do I expect us to beat the Lions? No. But I am expecting JJ McCarthy to show first of all, he has to play the rest of the season. Right. You have to show me you're healthy, A, and B, you're gonna have to show me something that no matter what happens, these guys are ready to play for you. And you've shown enough to be like, okay, we're going to give this another shot next year. But with that, due to Daniel Jones walking out, obviously the Vikings will look in free agency or maybe even in the draft, or I'm sorry, the trade deadline to bring somebody in there because we cannot afford to continue to lose these games because your quarterback is hurt for 75% of the time he's been out there.
Right.
So we've seen two games from JJ McCarthy. Obviously, the first game he was, bad against a Bears team that was figuring it out with Ben Johnson, and then he became Joe Montana in the fourth quarter. The important quarters, the important plays he did do, but obviously against the Falcons, whether it was the tape, whether it's he got injured towards the end of that game, he just did not look good. So I agree with you. He hasn't looked the best. So we got to see something the rest of the season to be like, okay, let's do it again and let's see what we got.
Hey, he wants to be great, right?
Hey,
One of the greatest comebacks if he can pull us to the
doing
playoffs.
he be doing this on the on the
We're gonna
goalpost.
find out.
So we'll find out. I'm excited. Like you said, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm not expecting too much from this team as of right now, just due to the injuries and the uncertainty, as well as the undisciplined team. Right, there are
Penalties, false
so many
starts,
penalties, false starts, let
holding.
alone just special team penalties, just sloppy football. Right, so.
Yeah.
And you guys got your ass whooped. You kind of gave it up towards the end of the game. Like you didn't keep playing hard. Some players didn't. So they shipped it out and, was ready for Cancun. So we got to see something, this season. Not expecting too much, but I am expecting them to be competitive. If you do keep a lot of those veterans, those guys have pride. Those guys came back for a reason. So I'm expecting Adam Thielen to, step up as much as he can. I'm expecting to do that jersey that you're wearing right now. I'm expecting him to step up a lot more. And let's see how it goes. That's just what it's going to be. So,
That's it.
But anyway, we wanted to get this out to you guys since we had a little bit of a bye week. Like I said, this is a very interesting time for the Vikings, but we'll be keeping you guys updated and what our opinions and how we feel about it for the remainder of the season.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's go.
We out.